3. Boss. Thanks to God, Rudy saw that the people in his uncle and number 39's house were all the same as the people he was used to seeing. There is only one stupid person here, a pitiful naive person, one of those miserable abandoned people that every family in Vale takes home to raise for a few months and then passes it on to other loyal people to raise. Also during the same period. That poor person is Zipperly. Uncle Rudy is still a strong hunter. He also knows how to make crates. His wife was a small, lively person, with a face like a bird and number 39's eyes as sharp as a hawk and number 39's, and a long neck with lots of down. Everything is new to Rudy. From clothes, customs to language. But because of her voice and her young mind, it didn't and #39's take long for her to grasp and get used to it. My uncle and number 39's house looks more prosperous than my grandfather and number 39's house. The rooms are more spacious, decorated with deer antlers and shiny hunting guns. Above the door there is a painting of the Virgin Mary, in front of it is a lamp, surrounded by alpine roses. My uncle is not only the best deer hunter in the area, he is also the best guide in this area. Rudy soon became the favorite of the family. At least people love you like an old greyhound, dumb and blind, who can no longer help, but has done so much in the past that now people take very good care of it, treating it like one of their own. Family. Rudy caressed and loved it. But that old dog doesn't and #39's like building new relationships. It can be said that Rudy soon took root in the hearts of everyone in the family. My uncle said, and quote, "We are not suffering in this vale. We always have deer. These breeds are not lost like the chamois. Yes, everything is much better now than before. People, it has been said many times that the ancient times were very glorious. But this time is much better. In the past, our valleys seemed to be separated from everyone else, but there was a power that broke down the wall of separation and a cool breeze blew to cheer up all regions and quote." While talking, Uncle Rudy recounted his childhood, a time when the whole Vale lived in isolation. Half the population were stupid and pitifully disabled. He continued, and quote, "But suddenly, French soldiers appeared. Those are the doctors we need. They kill people and destroy diseases. These are people who know how to fight heroically, the and quote, tough guy. Besides, French women really deserve them and quote." Saying this, he looked at his French wife and smiled, his mouth widening from ear to ear. He continued, "After fighting with the people, they immediately attacked the Rocky Mountain. It was they who built the road from Simexon through the most dangerous mountains, and now we just need to tell a 3-year-old child, and quote, follow the main road to Italy and quote, and he will reach Italy if he keeps going. Follow the main road." Saying this, he sang a French song and praised Emperor Napoleon. Only now did Rudy hear about France and Lyon, a large city on the banks of the Rhône River. My uncle used to be there. He told Rudy, and quote, "I think in just a few years you will become a good hunter because you already have a lot of talent." And quote, "He taught me how to hold a gun, how to aim and shoot. He let me go hunting in the mountains and gave me hot deer blood to drink to relieve dizziness. He taught me to look at the direction of the sun to know whether a mountain will collapse at noon or evening. He showed me how to imitate deer, jumping so that when I hit the ground, I could stand straight and not stagger. He also taught me how to escape from the abyss when I accidentally rolled down. I had to lean on my elbows, use my calves, and even use the muscles in my neck to hold on to even the smallest points. Rudy absorbed these things very quickly. I also know the tricks people use to deceive deer, even though they are very clever, no matter how carefully they use sentries and patrols to guard each other. I saw my uncle hang his coat and hat on a stick, then move away, letting the poor deer look at the clothes and lose its guard. One day, Rudy followed his uncle hunting. He also used that trick. The road is narrow, or more accurately, there is only a blurry streak, which is just a thin mountain edge teetering on the edge of a cliff. The snow is melting. The rocks slipped under his feet and rolled down the cliff, so he had to lie down on the ground and crawl up, but every now and then a rock would loose, fall, and jump thousands of times from one cliff to another. Before reaching the bottom of the dark abyss, Rudy stood only about 100 steps away from his uncle, on a solid rock behind him. But behold, a large eagle flew straight towards the hunter who was crawling like a worm, intending to use its propeller to knock him down into the abyss so he could tear him apart and eat him. Uncle Rudy didn't and #39 see it because he had just seen it and was busy watching the mother deer standing with her baby on the other side of the cliff. Rudy saw the evil bird and guessed its intentions. I raised my gun and was about to shoot. At that moment, the startled deer jumped up and ran away. The uncle opened fire, the animal was hit and fell dead, while the fawn escaped, jumping over mountain peaks and rushing across solid abysses like a big deer. The eagle heard the gunshot and flew away in fear. Listening to Rudy and number 39's story, Uncle Rudy realized the danger that had just threatened him. He went to pick up the deer and number 39's carcass and they happily returned home. The uncle was very happy and sang a song he had known since he was young. Suddenly there was an unusual noise nearby. They raised their eyes and looked up. High up on the rugged mountain top, the snowbank rose, moving like a stretch of silk blown by the wind like waves. Then all that ice and snow melted and dispersed, like an egg foam rushing down, rumbling like thunder. It was a terrible avalanche. It wasn't an #39 falling towards them, but it was close, too close. Uncle Rudy shouted with all his strength, "And quat! Stand still!" And quat! Rudy clung tightly to a tree trunk. The hunter climbed up and hugged the tree branch tightly. The ice avalanche passed hundreds of meters away, but the storm it caused broke all the surrounding trees like dry rushes, then scattered them everywhere. Rudy felt himself falling to the ground. The tree I was hugging just now seemed to have been sawed to the root, its top flying away. There, the uncle and number 39's head was broken and he lay limply among the tree branches. His hand was still hot, but his face was no longer recognizable. Faced with that terrible scene, Rudy turned pale, trembled and for the first time felt afraid. It was late at night when I brought that terrible news home. The uncle and number 39's wife remained silent, neither speaking nor crying. It was only when the body was brought home that the pain erupted. Poor Zipperlee fell into bed. The whole next day he was not seen. At night, he found Rudy and told her, "And quat! Write me a letter." This Zipperlee doesn't and #39 know how to write, but he knows the post office drops letters. "And quat! Rudy Axe, write a letter for me?" Send it to whom? To our Lord Jesus. What are you saying? The poor idiot looked at Rudy with the most touching expression, clasped his hands together and whispered, both solemn and reverent, and quote, Jesus, my God, this exaperly wants to write to you to ask you to let him die instead. And quote, for boss and quote. Rudy squeezed his hand and with great difficulty explained to him that the letter would not reach heaven and would not bring the dead back to life. After the burial ceremony, the aunt told Rudy, "You are now the breadwinner in the family." And honestly, Rudy is like that. Read the next part, The Ice Goddess Part 4. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.